This is from, I can't say the person's name at all because they don't want me to say their name. It says, hey there, I am 20M. I don't know what that means.
20 in male?
Oh, 20 male. I gotcha. I'm struggling to love. I have people who love me unconditionally, but I'm unable to reciprocate their love. It's not that I hurt them or anything. It's just that I don't feel such amount of love that they feel for me. Man, this guy's got good problems. I had a girlfriend, first relationship, and our relationship was the perfect one. Lasted for 2 years, and I ended it because I cannot reciprocate her love. I used to do the romantic stuff, lovely things, but I don't feel like doing them. Just did it to make her happy. And I don't have any dark past, in your words. I'm kind of boring. And then he shows these like weird happy faces. I also think that I am gay because I always fantasize about men, never women, but I feel it's just because I never had a crush on even a single person in my entire life. Neither I felt romantically for anyone, neither a man or woman. I'm quite sure I am not straight, but I don't have a crushes, love feelings for anyone. I don't know why. And since the realization that I'm not straight and my inability to love, I am pushing away my friends, and I feel very lonely. Let me take this piece by piece. So first and foremost, you are in a society that I think for a longer time, shunned homosexuality.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been because of the English. I think India was actually more accepting of it before the English came along. I'm not sure of that. Don't quote me on that. But
yeah, it might be. Yeah.
But in any case, you're in a society that for a long time has held negative feelings against malicious intent against homosexuals. They weren't treated right. And only now are you seeing a change globally, in fact. Like in America in the last 10, 15 years, we've come a long ways in terms of acceptance of homosexuals. And so you're dealing with that. You're not allowing yourself to believe a particular thought because you're wrestling with your conditioning, the conditioning of society. And that's perfectly normal. In fact, when you said that you couldn't reciprocate love for any of your girlfriends, I immediately wondered if you were gay, to be honest with you.
Oh, you did?
I did, yes.
I didn't go there.
I immediately went there, and I was like, okay, that's my first thought. That's my first question. Is this person gay? Not in a bad way. Just like, I mean, you might be straight and not able to reciprocate love because you just haven't met the right person. Or you might be asexual.
That's what I thought.
You know, I don't think he's asexual. He's having fantasies about men. And the thing is, you are probably stifling certain things. You're probably limiting yourself in certain ways because of what society deems is okay or what your family might deem is okay. You know, there are certain struggles in that regard that you are not allowing yourself to admit because it's not accepted. And like, God forbid your family finds out. God forbid the shame of like what will happen there. There's a lot to wrestle with. And the first step, I think, is to be honest with yourself about who you are and come out of the closet with yourself. Just yourself first. Start there. And then you sort of have to suss it out because you're in a society that is still developing in terms of acceptance of that, right? And so you have to slowly work your way around and see who you can trust in this regard. And I'm imagining that the reason why you are so attractive to women is because of that feminine quality that you probably possess, your ability to listen to them, your ability to talk with them, unlike most men, because it's like talking to a girlfriend in the body of a man, right? At least on some level. And so the first thing to do is accept who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. You have to accept that first and work your way up from there. ACHARA, go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, sexuality isn't necessarily binary all the time. It's a spectrum. So, you know, you just need to kind of discover where you lie, whether that's like all the way over at like asexual. I don't feel sexual feelings towards people at all, and I'm not bothered about that. Or whether you actually like women, whether you like men, or whether it's a little bit of both or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Like, and it's totally fine. And you don't have to put a label on it if you don't want to. It's just who you are. You like what you like, but you just got to figure that out, you know. And it'll take time, and like, you know, try things. Maybe you want to spend time with a man and see how that feels, and if that feels right. Like, I met a girl a while ago. We became friends, and she said that like she didn't even realize that she was into girls until like she finally came clean with herself in her late 20s.
I thought this story was going somewhere else. I got really excited. Okay.
No. I wasn't that person that was like, she was all like, hey, ACHARA, I'm into you. I like girls now. No, it was like she just didn't realize, and she'd had boyfriends you know, she'd had boyfriends, but it just didn't feel right. And then she finally kind of, you know, had this epiphany and was like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm lesbian.
Yeah.
And then she started dating girls and she was like, it was incredible. Like
Yeah.
all those feelings that she'd never had for guys, suddenly it was just like she was blossoming into this new person, and love was incredible and sex was incredible. And
Yeah.
it was like all the things that she ever wanted. So
Right.
like Jaby said, you know, you just got to come clean with yourself and come out of the closet with yourself if that's the case.
Yeah. There's plenty of men in America who didn't come out until their 40s. You know, people who are married, have kids.
Yeah.
They went through all the motions of relationships and whatnot, and then they realized, oh my God, like this is who I am. And I feel bad for those people who, because of conditioning, because of society, they didn't get to take advantage of who they really were as a person until their 40s.
Yeah.
That's sad to me. I mean, at least they found themselves before they died. Like, at least they did find themselves and were able to enjoy themselves. But it's still crazy and annoying that conditioning has put people in that place where they weren't allowed to be themselves and express themselves as they are, you know, at a reasonable age or, you know, younger age,
Yeah.
like he is. He's young. He's 20 years old. So, but like ACHARA is saying, you know, the sexuality is a spectrum. And I remember I've talked about him many times recently. My former best friend, Michael, who is gay, and we were hanging out like all the time. Like we were close friends for like 8 years. And I remember we were at Denny's once, and I forgot what I said to him. I might have said something about my girlfriend being bisexual or something like that. And he says, you know, everybody's bisexual, really. Like everyone is just on a spectrum of bisexual. It's just where you are on that spectrum.
Yeah.
And so I actually, I'm inclined to believe that. I think that most people, maybe everybody's bisexual on some level. It's just where you are on that spectrum and your comfortability with your own sexuality and exploring that. Kurt Cobain, I think, once said that he thinks he's bisexual, but he just would not have a relationship with a man.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that is the feeling that maybe a lot of men secretly have, is that like, maybe I am, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Why? Why am I gonna go there?
Maybe I'd like to, you know, fool around and do some stuff. But
I think that today, at least in the States, we're more accepting of men exploring that side of themselves, like women used to do. Like women had their crazy wild college experiences.
Right.
I think men are allowed to have that now and then go back and just have a straight relationship if they are so inclined, which is what happens with a lot of women who have that kind of exploration of themselves and whatnot. There's a Tom Hardy is one of those guys. He had like not bouts, but episodes with men, and he ultimately realized he'd rather be with a woman at the end of the day, and so he's married now.
yeah.
You know, so don't have any shame about it, dude. Accept who you are, love who you are. Start with that,
Yes.
and then slowly try to suss out who you can convey this to, because like you might try to convey it to your parents, and they might be like the worst people in the world to tell it to. You know, I have no idea. Hopefully, God, there's this video. Just thinking about it makes me cry. There's this video where this young boy came out to his mom, and she knew, and then he started crying because he couldn't even get the words out. And she was so accepting and embraced him. And I could hear in their accents, they were somewhere in the South.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is wild. And I'm so happy that she just accepted him for who he was. And she just loved him.
Yeah. She's like, I already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's a chance that your parents know and are just ignoring it. You know, there's a possibility. Anyway, start with accepting yourself, bro.
Yeah.